We'll open with an opening statement from head coach Yolett McPhee-McCuin, and then follow up with any questions. Coach, go ahead.
Disappointed by our performance tonight. Not discouraged, just disappointed because I felt like we crumbled as soon as we got adversity. That's something this team will have to grow through and learn. That's an NCAA tournament team. I was very nervous that we were their first game. That was our first game. That kind of test out the gate. That's on me, but I needed to see where we were so we know where to go. Am I in a panic? Absolutely not. I'm just frustrated because I wanted us to respond better when we hit the adversity with just missing shots early on and Kira getting in foul trouble.
Open it up for questions.
Just kind of where do you think that adversity started? Did you start noticing them, I think you said crumbling, was that early in the first quarter or did it develop later?
Yeah, well, the past couple weeks, every time this team wants to do well. This team knows that people have expectations for them, and right now they are not responding the way that they should. So they have been in crumble mode since they got pick six. Just super hard on themselves, cannot function. It's the end of the world when they miss a layup. And so it's kind of like, how sometimes like you need something to happen so they can just snap into reality. I think that's what this is going to bring. I knew when we played this game, it could go either way. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Belmont. They look like a veteran squad. Their style is different. We don't see that in the SEC except for Missouri. That's why we struggle with Missouri. But I needed us to have this type of film and be tested the way that we could. Easily, I could have started off with another type of opponent. This was intentional because we want to be an NCAA tournament team.
It seemed like a lot of Belmont's scoring was just open around the rim. Is that structural? Is that effort just from what you're seeing? Why are they so close there?
Well, the reason why they won 20 games in a row, they're just it's a unique style. They're not gonna post up a lot. They're just gonna spread you out. And so usually, like when we play teams, we can be on the wall because if they kick it, maybe they won't look to kick it. I think they have an elite level point guard. And she just carved us to pieces, which I expected her to do, and we are not connected yet. We played a team like this last year with Northern Iowa or in the NIT, same type team, and we beat them because that was in March. Now, Coach O decides to play this team November, not November, like the first game. We'll bounce back. We just have a lot of work to do. And then Kira was off. I think that put everybody in a panic mode. We've been scrimmaging and whatnot, and she's been, like, incredible. And so I think that put a shock through the whole team when she wasn't making her shots. And I think they did a good job, Gardner.
For this one?
Beg pardon?
What'd you say to Kira after?
Well, I told her that this, I said a lot of things. This type of game gives us incredible film. We won't see this type of team for a very long time, but it tested our discipline. So it showed my staff where we are defensively and how we need to improve. It showed us what things we have to do to get better, and we will, and we will.
Coach, what do you kind of chalk up the slow start to that you guys had at the beginning?
Yeah, I mean, it was our first game. And nerves. This team is very aware of what's going on around them, and they allow it to affect them. I remember last year, I didn't even get on social media in conference because I need to lock in. Maybe our team needs to do that. I put some limitations on them tonight, just because I feel like they need to focus. They just have too much pressure, too much outside, and we just need to hone in and get it together. Let me tell you something. I'd rather lose to Belmont, who's well respected amongst the country, than lose to someone else. This is the type, if we're going to take a L early, this is one that we need. I can guarantee the fans and everybody, as you continue to watch us, you'll see a better brand of basketball.
Angel, she seemed to get settled in the second half. Just what you think about her second half performance?
It's what was expected. We need Angel to help us. Donetta's out. That hurt us. That if Donetta was here, one, she would be starting. Two, she was our calm in the storm. She has that charisma, that bravado. We're missing that. My wings look like a bunch of babies right now, and so I need them to be tougher, and Donetta is tough. So we need Angel to come on. Not only Angel, we need JB, we need Snudder, we need all of them to come on. It is very important for that to happen, and so that's something that we'll work towards.
When you all cut it to 7 there in the third, or when you cut it to 8 in the fourth, what do you learn about your team from them fighting back but not quite being able to go all the way?
Well, honestly, like the whole time it was going on, like when the first quarter was 16-3, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't in the huddle screaming. I was just like, we're just missing. First game jitters, whatever the case may be. It's really making me go back and evaluate, like maybe I need to get an exhibition game in, before so we could get all the kinks and nervousness out under the big lights. But I opted to do something else, so that's on me. And so I wasn't nervous. I felt like we could get back into the game. The whole time. I told them at halftime, I said, get it down to 8 before we go into the fourth quarter. We had it down to 7 in the third. But again, we are not tough enough yet. So we got there, and as soon as something didn't go our way, I think someone missed a layup. We just collapsed. And that is what we have to get better with. We have to respond better in adversity and push through. And so, once we start to do that, we'll be better.
Any questions on Zoom?
I've got one, but I can't raise my hand. I don't know if you
See,
can hear me.
because the camera's down.
Go for it, David.
Go ahead, David.
Hey, Coach. Yeah. How much
Right there.
early
Down.
season games?
Perfect. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
How much are these early season games going to be about chemistry and you finding the right combinations, because you've got a lot of new faces out there on the floor for.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is going to be about chemistry for us. We have to play through things. We have to grow through things. Like I said, the schedule, David, it was hard for us to schedule this year. A lot of people didn't want to play us, and so we kind of had to take. I didn't want to play Belmont. I was just going to be completely transparent. That is not the first game I wanted to open up against. But when we realized we couldn't get games, then we had to do what we had to do. And so we have to grow through these things. I can tell you right now, I am not the least bit panicked. It's just something that we have to experience so that we can be better.
You mentioned toughness, that you are not tough enough right now. What does it take to get toughness? Because you've got a lot of girls out there with a lot of experience right now.
Yeah, toughness is inside of you. So we asked the whole group to just reflect and look at themselves and lock in and focus on what they need to do. They are tough. They just wasn't tough tonight, and they choose when they want to be tough. So my goal and my staff's goal is to get them to be tough for 40 minutes, and that's going to be a process.
Thanks, Joe.
Any other questions for Coach? Great, thank you.
Thanks.